For some reason, countries often have territorial ambitions and conflicts. Russia's invasion of Ukraine on February 24, 2022, remains a significant international concern. Similarly, China has expressed a desire to bring Taiwan under its control, and India has territorial disagreement in the Kashmir region. While these global issues have captured headlines and discussions, there is an intriguing topic that has been quietly gaining attention within the United States. During the last few years, the U.S. seems to have more and more issues with Mexico. The growing concern remains within the Republican Party among its nationalist wing, where figures like Donald Trump are supporting the idea of tackling the issue with Mexico. Being the superpower, the U.S. clearly has the capabilities to invade any country on Earth if needed. The possibility of the United States using military action in Mexico has gained attention recently. Well, it's certainly not the first time the United States invades a country. The wars in Afghanistan, which began in 2001, were followed by Iraq in 2003. Not only that, but we also have the Gulf War, the Vietnam War, and also the Korean War. And also don't forget the invasion of Mexico in 1846, are just a few examples. The United States and Mexico share a complex history. A war between these two nations took place from 1846 to 1848, triggered by the United States annexation of Texas in 1845. This war concluded with the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848, which continues to influence their relationship to this day. Mexico handed over territories to the United States, including what is now California, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Utah, and parts of Colorado, Wyoming, Kansas, and Oklahoma. However, the wounds of the Mexican-American War and the loss of these territories continue to influence U.S.-Mexico relations to this day. The Mexico border stretches nearly 2,000 miles, and remains in this border is what bothers the United States. Over the last few years, immigration, border security, and drug cartels smuggling drugs across the border have become significant problems, causing tension between the United States and Mexico. While the Mexican government has attempted to address the cartel problem, it appears to still be there in some way. There are several different cartels operating in Mexico, with estimates ranging from around 10 to 20 major cartels. The most powerful and also the oldest cartel is the Sinaloa Cartel, which operates particularly in the western part of the country. It was led by El Chapo Guzman, but since he has been thrown in jail, his son Ovidio Guzman Lopez seems to be the leader now. Because of the problems caused by drug trafficking, the United States is thinking about getting involved. This could mean using the military power in Mexico to try to control the situation and deal with the drug cartels. The U.S. forcing its military to invade Mexico would certainly not be something that Mexico would be happy about. But if the U.S. still decided to invade Mexico, how would that end? Let's compare the two nations' militaries. The United States military has significant capabilities across its various branches. With approximately 1.3 million active duty personnel, it maintains a robust presence. In the skies, the U.S. fields around 2,300 fighter jets, including various models, and possesses approximately 150 bombers, including the B-1, B-2, and B-52 bombers. Its aerial strength extends further with approximately 600 transport planes and a fleet of 5,000 helicopters. The exact count of drones within the U.S. military is somewhat uncertain, but it is known to possess numerous unmanned aerial vehicles. Notably, the U.S. military's might isn't confined to the air. It dominates the seas as well, with a formidable fleet consisting of around 11 aircraft carriers, over 60 destroyers, and more than 70 submarines. When considering ground forces, the U.S. fields over 1,000 M1 Abrams tanks and deploys several thousand armored vehicles. But how does the U.S. military look compared to Mexico? The Mexican armed forces consist of approximately 280,000 active duty personnel. In terms of aviation, Mexico operates a fleet of various aircraft of around 336, where most of them consist of fighter jets and the rest are in helicopters and transport planes. Beyond the air, Mexico also focuses on maritime security, with a fleet of around 189 ships and no aircraft carriers. When considering ground forces, Mexico has a collection of armored vehicles of around several thousands, and has actually 0 tanks. When you compare the military of both nations, it becomes quite clear that the United States possesses a significant superiority. With the enormous size and strength of the US military, it is quite clear that the US would definitely win this conflict. However, this doesn't necessarily suggest that a military invasion is the best action, or even in the interest of the United States. The chances of the US invading Mexico is more unlikely because of the consequences such an action would have, let alone the millions of people that could potentially die from this, and the enormous humanitarian crisis this could cause. But there is something deeper. In recent times, Mexico has grown in importance as a trade partner, somewhat like China. This shift in dynamics poses challenges for the United States. One of Mexico's primary exports is automobiles and parts, which is valued at about $94 billion. Mexico also exports electrical components, machinery, iron and steel, and dozens of other things that makes it more unlikely to invade Mexico. Imagine what such an invasion would have consequences for the rest of the world. Inflation would soar, prices on oil and other important minerals would skyrocket. Maybe the US has learned from its previous invasions. Their failed attempt in the Vietnam War, where they faced several challenges and also failed to control the spread of communism. They also failed in the Middle East trying to defeat terrorist organizations, but yet we have the Taliban taking over Afghanistan. Maybe there are other better strategies than invading countries and trying to steer it in certain directions. Anyway, this channel has been growing fast, and I want all you viewers to help this channel to reach 1,000 subscribers. Remember to like this video and share your thoughts in the comment section. See you in the next one.